Daniel here for Tabletop for One, and my first impressions after 4 plays of Wild Tiled West. Now, Wild Tiled West is designed by Dennen, the designer of Dune Imperium, and it's published by the same company, Direwolf Games. And when I saw this up for pre-order on their website, I looked at it and I thought, man, I gotta get this game because I love polyomino tile games and I love the theme and everything just looked great. Well, it didn't take long to get the game and I got it to the table right away. And I have to tell you, I've had a lot of fun with this one. Now in Wild Tiled West, you are tasked with building out these cities in this big area of land. You have this player board that you're going to be putting tiles on there, whether they be pastures or buildings or other tiles. You will have bandits trying to attack you and you'll have to send sheriffs to take them out. And you also have some various goal cards that some of the citizens want you to complete to help make the best town. And then the solo mode here, it's a beat your own score solo mode with ranked scoring amounts. It does have an AI, but it's a blocking type AI. The AI in this game will block you as far as what is called a tussle. And at the end of each set of turns, there's a tussle and you compare how many bandits are alive to the AI. And if you win the tussle, you get a lot of points, but if you lose the tussle, you actually lose points. So it gives you this goal to try and push forward, to try and make sure you take care of your bandits. Other than that, the AI competes with you as far as pastures go, so it'll score its cows early and try and take away the bonus that you might get from scoring cows. Now let's talk about the general gameplay. Now if you've played polyomino games, they come in a variety of kinds. Some of them involve you trying to fill out a board completely. Some of them involve trying to just complete certain goals and do certain things to score points. This falls into the second category. It's an open field and you cannot complete the entire field. You can't fill it up. There's not enough time and not enough actions. But in this one here, that's okay because you are trying to complete the goals on your citizen cards, and even on the back side of each of the boards, there is an extra, I guess you could say, asymmetrical power. It's an extra type of goal that corresponds to different icons that only show up on that side of that board, and so provides different scoring opportunities and different ways to direct you on how you build out your cities. Now the way you build out your cities is you're going to be choosing tiles from these nice little trays here that house all the tiles. You're going to roll 3 dice and you're going to roll 2 d20s and 1 d8, and you'll position them on the board and that tells you which tiles you can get. Now that sounds like really random, right? But they actually did a really interesting job with this. See, with the 1 die, the blue die, it's on the river, you're able to pay gold to go further along on the river and take a tile further back from where you are. Whereas the green dice, when you take a tile from there, it'll actually free up the next tiles behind it. And so it gives you opportunities to get those tiles later. Most of the tiles here, you're never gonna find I'm not going to use that tile situation. There are very few situations that I have found that in, and it's really situational. Sorry, I said situation like too many times there. But that's the truth. It didn't feel random to me. I thought it would be, but it really didn't. I felt I had more control over it than I realized I did. And the tile placement is so impactful in this one. I mean, you don't get a lot of stuff when you place it. There aren't many combos to be made here, but the tile placement, it really feels like your decision on how you place your tiles and where you place them matter. And that's important to me in a game like this. I don't want to pick up a tile just because it fits a spot. I want to pick up a tile because it fits and it does other things for me as well. And this really excels in this. I just love all the options that you have when you place these tiles. It could be lining up sheriffs to shoot bandits. It could be placing them in the city spaces so you complete a city. There's all sorts of options and I just appreciate all of them. And then again, the other sides of the boards, that's where it's at. I mean, don't get me wrong. The regular side of the board works really well and I've had a ton of fun with it and played many games with that side. However, the other side of the board is where it is, because there were times where I felt like I had too much gold or didn't have use for certain tiles, and when I used the other side of that board, that changed everything, because then tiles that I might not have normally used now became usable. Then the gold that I might have been saving up and didn't need in the end, now it becomes worth victory points in the end if I do certain things to make it happen. And so, yeah, that was a big plus to me, the fact that they included that, and there's so many of them. There's so many boards and so much replayability here. And that does lead me to replayability. This game is quick, okay? You're talking 20 to 30 minutes. You can check out my solo playthrough if you want to see it in action. But this game is very fast to play, and it's easy to set up. You just put the tiles back into the trays that they go in. The trays themselves have a picture of the tile behind where the tiles go, so it's easy to place them back into their spots, and then you're ready to go again. You can just change the board, you can play the same board, whatever you want. Now, of course, it is a beat your own score solo mode, and so it does falter in that it doesn't really have a win or loss condition. I think that could be remedied by maybe coming up with some scenarios and achievements and that sort of thing, and I may very well do that myself. But I still enjoy the game. The gameplay is fascinating and fast enough that it doesn't really matter what I score in the end as long as I enjoyed the gameplay, and that's what I do here. And so this kind of leads me into my final thoughts here. Just a few things I want to talk about. One, the production quality is fantastic. So these trays work out really well. They fit back into the box really well. The box has a plastic cover, or the insert has a plastic cover to keep everything in there. It's got wooden bits for the tokens and stuff. Everything looks great. Now the tiles are a little bit on the thin side, but they are sturdy and they fit in these slots really well without being snug or catching on anything. So all those things I appreciate about the production quality. I don't think you see enough of the citizens each time you play. You only get to see about 4 citizens each time you play, and there's not enough there. I would like some more options there, but it's not a deal breaker to me. They just help guide you on how you build your town, and they're of course very useful for end game scoring points. So I hope they do expand this later, giving more citizens and more options to play. And all in all, people have asked me, what about Planet Unknown? Because I had Planet Unknown. Yes, had. You'll notice it was up there where the Terraforming Mars box is. I sold it. Well, I played it 40 times and I just got everything I could out of the game. I didn't feel like I was getting anything more out of the game and didn't enjoy the tile placement that much. This one, I love the tile placement. I feel it's more impactful. I feel my decision to place tile matters more than I have in other polyomino games. And so what more can I say? I really like the game. Now this is, of course, is not a review. This is a first impressions. If I review it, it'll be after 10 plays, which I've actually passed 10 plays, but I do want to give you my first impressions here before I decide on my review. I actually want to play it a few more times before I do my review. And so there you have it. That was my first impressions after 4 plays of Wild Tiled West. Just to let you know, it is slated to release this month. So anybody who didn't get the pre-order from Dire Wolf can pre-order it from other stores that are going to get it in stock. And so let me know what you think of this game. Also, let me know what you think of this new format. This is the first impressions after 4 plays that I've done on the channel, and I'd like to know your feedback on it. It's a little less structured than my reviews, but a little more candid. It's something I already do on Facebook, but I realize that a number of my viewers aren't on Facebook at all or in the groups that I am in. And so I wanted to provide this here on the channel, and I hope you enjoy it. Please also like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon, I have a link in the description, and I thank everyone who has supported me thus far. And I thank you very much for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.